family, we up. We are wee hours of the morning with some great, I ain't gonna say great, but news to discuss about some of this struggle. About this struggle, family. Hey, what a beautiful day. What a beautiful day. Daily toast. Great kujichagulia. It's a great kujichagulia, family. And I'm talking slow because I'm trying to get my Facebook up, and my keys, of course, are not cooperating. But hey, it is what it is, right? Oh, it's kujichagulia, right? Kujichagulia. Kujichagulia 26182. No. Good grief. Here we go. Now, what is going on here? All right. I hope y'all listening. So, this is the struggle I go through. But I got some stuff for y'all this morning. My daughter posted up, and we got some stuff to talk about, fam. We got some stuff to talk about, some real stuff. Turn this light on for me, please. Give me my blue cup out of there and give me one of those waters, cause I'm behind, family. Look. This one? No, this light right here. No, don't you, right here. The switch is right. The switch is right up there, man. All right, so about to do the YouTube. Let's do the YouTube real quick.
You said you want your
my blue class. What's up, brother Shaka? Man, so we about to hit this, man, and it's like I ain't only roadblock on this one is me. That's the fact right there. All right, so we got two people up. Who else coming up this morning? Remember, we are live on YouTube. We are live. We're about to be live on Instagram. We are live, of course, on Facebook. The majority of the family is, but we want to give everybody an opportunity to tune in. Now, I'm going to have to do some periscoping, because according to Brother Shaka, I could do Periscope, and I can also link it into some other stuff as well, and that's some good news. Shaka we working together, we figuring out stuff, and that's teamwork. That's how you do it, right? That's how we got to do it. We got to figure stuff out. But this is kujichagulia, right? And for those who have been following the principles, those who understand the principles, know that one of the things about kujichagulia and that a lot of people like is the fact that you are able to define yourself for yourself. This means being able to deal. Did you give me a water too, Cleve? Being able to shape reality because of how you believe. You know what I'm saying? Not just creating some comic book fiction, but being able to live reality, being able to create reality, being able to shape reality. For those that need an example of how kujichagulia works in life, a kujichagulia process in life that, if you need an example, is the media. The media is a tool for shaping and forming kujichagulia. right? It shapes and it identifies and it redefines and it defines what goes on for the people. But the key piece we got to understand is that the people that's defining for it is not always us. So shouts out to Brother Shaka, shouts out to Brother Kwame, great kujichagulia to you. Did you see? Yes. Did you see my first YouTube video, Periscope with GoPro? It's amazing. I gotta go on and check that out. So I'm sending shouts out to y'all. I want to share some information. I found a story last night, and my daughter posted up another story, and I want y'all to understand the kujichagulia that's coming out of here. Read interesting urban fiction books this past week. An island sister used storytelling to heal mental illness. Hey, I'm not alone in this. Please understand, I'm not alone in this, right? The power of the story. I mean, because really, you know what I'm saying, to be a good mathematician, you got to be a storyteller. To be a good economist, you got to be a storyteller. To be a good political scientist, you got to be a good storyteller. You know what I'm saying? Stories. To be a good drug counselor, you need to be a good story. You need to be able to help people shape their narratives. You know what I'm saying? This is one of the skills that we have lost. This is why when I wrote my book years ago, I called it The Lost Art of Storytelling, because it's an art. Even though we still see it on the screen, we haven't translated that to our lives, right? And storytelling is a tool of kujichagulia because the media does nothing but tell stories. So now, let's look at this, man. All right. So yesterday when I woke up, and I know I'm behind. I didn't watch the Super Bowl, family. I know some of y'all might be upset with that. I didn't watch the Super Bowl. I had some other shit to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot going on. There's a whole lot going on in the world, and I'm not a super sports dude. You understand what I'm saying? So there's a lot going on in the world, and I'm trying to keep up with all of it, right? You know what I'm saying? Because I believe that the destiny of our people are, in a sense, in what I do, in my hands. You know what I'm saying? I kind of take some personal responsibility. Every time I go to these schools and I'm looking into the face of these kids, I have to wonder, what does their future look like? Same here. I never watch any of the games anyway. I rarely watch games. Now, I will say this. I will look up at a game when I'm at the barber shop, because me and Cleve go to the barber shop on Mondays, usually, when the money is right. We go to the barber shop, and they had the games up, and I look up at them. But I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a big sports fan, right? Because like I said, I sense something else behind it. And shouts out to the unsleeping one, Anubis, right? So I'm gonna start with the first thing that I want y'all to see, as far as creating yourself for yourself. Not allow influences to sway your ideas. All right. So those that watch the Super Bowl, because when I woke up yesterday, I just looked on my phone and said, who won the Super Bowl? And what flashed across my screen was New England Patriots. So, wow, they won again. Okay. All right. Yeah, they've been winning a lot. Right? So, all right, cool. I go through the day. I go to my event, and I find out that they didn't. It was the Philadelphia Eagles. Have you ever considered shaving your head completely bald? Who, me? Nah, man. Never. My fault. I did. I was about 7 years old, and I was looking up to Isaac Hayes, and I shaved my head bald, and I was terrorized until I started growing hair back. So, never thought about shaving it all off. So, Philadelphia won, okay? And they had riots. You know what I'm saying? People was out to the wee hours of the morning. They had riots, right? What does the Washington Post do? What do other newspapers do? And the reason I found out about this is because I couldn't go to sleep, so I got up and took a drive, right? And I'm listening to not NPR, because NPR, after a certain amount of time, it goes off here, and you got the BBC, which is cool. But I listen to it's Coast to Coast Radio. You know what I'm saying? The conspiracies, the aliens. This morning they was talking about exorcisms, right? So, but before they went to that, in the news flash, it was like riots in Philadelphia. Young kids and grown men acting up. That's what? Why do fans right after a win? The science behind Philadelphia Super Bowl chaos. When it's them and theirs, it's the science behind, right? When it's up, I mean, we can even gather for just peaceful reasons, and it's like it's defined differently. And this is the importance of media, fam. This is the importance of as much as cell phones and stuff like that can get on you. This is the reason we need to have our tools. This right now is our weapons. We're fighting for the minds of the people. And the way that we have to be able to fight for the minds for the people is by shaping the narrative to fit our perspective. Not just create stuff that's not real, but we need to be there and have eyes on so that we could shape the perspective. When, just like they do with theirs, when white people riot because they win a Super Bowl, or because they win an NCAA championship, or because they win a bowl game, is viewed or it's broadcasted in a different way. But when we come together, it's a whole different view. Violence, police gear. You can't riot. I don't give a fuck how many of y'all was shot down. You know, you don't have no rights, right? Brother Kwame said, I used to shave my head bald, but that cold kept slapping me across the head, and I grew the longest locks I possibly could to protect me from that cold. Making me shiver just thinking about it. Dude. All right. There's one more article. Actually, it's two more articles. Because I'm going to say the one my daughter sent me for last. Right? I'm not even going to read through it. You can read through it. Where they break down the science of euphoria, and they break down the science of what goes on inside a person's mind. I mean, I want y'all to really think about this shit, right? When they are describing their own, they're looking for scientific reasons why it happens. But when it's us, it's totally dealt with totally different. And the response is totally different. And we got to understand that. And we can't get mad at the hustle for them doing that. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not mad at the hustle for them doing that. I'm mad at the government for allowing that shit to happen. Because being a taxpayer, you know what I'm saying, I should be treated equally up under the law. But, of course, we know that until we, you know what I'm saying, take over the mechanisms, we always going to have problems. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? This is why it's important that we make sure that we start getting our children, especially those of us that's going to stay here, we start getting our children's mind ready to understand that in order to really protect us and get what we want, we're going to have to engage with this system in many different ways. You got to have those on the outside agitating and those on the inside working, but we all going to have to be one tribe. We all going to have a set of values that will push us towards the final goal. You know what I'm saying? And not allow it to be derailed by greed and pettiness. Brother Kwame say, think of when they riot as opposed to when we riot. MLK said our riots is from the people not being heard. The word fan comes from fanatic, which implies not sane or reasonable and even crazed, which they show degenerate savages, and they always blame it on the beer drinking. They don't even blame it on the beer drinking, bro. You got to read this article. They're not blaming it on the beer drinking. they're blaming it on euphoria. There's a euphoria that flows down over the people, and it's an individual state of joy that an individual is in for winning. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting up here like, oh, okay. So what do you call it when that joy is reversed and it's coming out in a different type of cry, and even when it's not even coming out like that, when it's coming out in a peaceful way with you marching and shit and running into police. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, it's I mean, the hypocrisy is so thick. But we know this. We know this. But I want y'all to know what's coming. What article are you referring to? Right now, I'm doing the Why Do Fans Riot from the Washington Post. Thank you, Miss Sister and Cynthia. Because it's like, why do fans riot after Super Bowl or games like that? And it came out on... I was scared to switch. It came out, I think, yesterday. You know what I'm saying? They talk about Eagles fans get rowdy in the streets of Philadelphia after Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? You got a white boy climbing up the poles, and you know what I'm saying? I mean, doing shit that's illegal. You know what I'm saying? They stopped that. You know what I'm saying? You ain't allowed to climb poles in Philadelphia no more. You know what I'm saying? You know, but hey, we won the Super Bowl. Yippee! Right? Do what you want. Right? Now, the next article, I wanted to read a few verses from it before I read what my daughter said, because it's important that I line these up right. But because of the way the computer working, I might not be able to get to it. Because I sent it to myself through a function on my phone called Push Bullet. You know, Push Bullet is excellent for transferring information over your devices. I know it's probably some better stuff out there, but all right, it ain't popping up. With an article, I'm gonna try to go from memory, family. Article. Oh, matter of fact, I know where it's at. Hold on. This is why it's not on Push Bullet. I'm about to show you brilliant here. Just mine. All right. So okay, now Push Bullet ain't working. So now when I switch to Hootsuite is moving slow, right? And maybe we're gonna get some of the answers when I drop what I'm about to drop. What my daughter posted in the Gye-Nyame Journey group. I worked campus security at OSU in 1996. We won against Michigan. People burnt couches, flip over cars in the street. Oh yeah. I mean, they define it so that they young, so that they could do that. You know what I'm saying? Who are on the front lines for us? You understand what I'm saying? I mean, we're not controlling the narrative. We don't control the narrative, right? And we don't control the police force, right? You know, even though, because in a lot of cities, but we got some in the military, but you know what I'm saying? That all depends. You know, this is why when people be like, oh man, the government is going to shut. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, we all got cousins in the military. Now, unless they just going to lock up half the military, you know what I'm saying? Because, we got to be honest. The military is usually composed of those classes of people who are of a lower financial status in the society. You always stock your military with those who are on the lowest rung of society. Why? Because rich people don't want their kids to die in war. Poor people have no choice. A lot of people went to the military looking for jobs. You understand what I'm saying? So, as far as military, I'm cool. I got at least 4 cousins in the military. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, you could try to get the army to try to march with me. Then we got to really, you know what I'm saying? Unless they do some real good brainwashing. I'm talking about super, super good brainwashing. Beyond that, because when I was in the military, way back in the day, family, you had contention within the military then, right? Especially with people from places such as Kansas. Well, exactly. So you got a lot of them in there. But you got a lot of people from New York. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of folks. But even with the mercenaries, what I'm saying is, even with the mercenaries, a lot of us is holding those guns. A lot of us is holding the weapons. So the issue is, like I said, we always got to be prepared. But, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be hard convincing them. Man, I don't know what's going on. This Hootsuite. And I actually set this up earlier. It's just still, I got the circle of death going and shit. I don't understand. All right. All right, I see what's going on. You must close down, my friend. All right. Maybe that'll happen a little bit faster now. All right. So, all right. We won't, without any further ado, I'm not going to hold up. But here we go. Tonight, if we do the show, like I said, I had problems sleeping, so I might come in, I might fall asleep. But the story for the day, for Folk Tales for Grown Folks, is The Owl and the Birds. I'm going to read it real quick for you so that those, if we do go on tonight, y'all could be ready. All right? I like having the toasting team ready. I want y'all like coming in there like y'all prophets. Oh, man, I foreseen this folk tale before anybody else. I already knew the answer. All right? You just have seen the show earlier. All right. And now, in her wisdom, counseled the birds that when the acorn first began to sprout, to pull it all up out of the ground and not allow it to grow. She said acorns will produce mistletoe, from which an irremediable poison, the bird line, will be extracted, and by which they will be captured. The owl next advised them to pluck up the seed of the flax, which men had sown, as it was a plant which boded no good to them. And lastly, the owl, seeing an archer approach, predicted that this man, being on foot, would contrive darts armed with feathers which would fly faster than the wings of the birds themselves. The birds gave no credence to these warnings, but considered the owl to be beside herself, and said that she was mad. But afterwards, finding her words were true, they wondered at her knowledge, and deemed her to be the wisest of birds. Hence it is that when she appears, they look to her as knowing all things, while she no longer gives them advice, but in solitude laments their past folly. Here, the New York City, y'all heard that? I'll read it one more time, then I'll read what Anubis say. Brother Kwame say mercenaries. Calvin's Brother Kwame say, we are the mercenaries. All right, you know what I'm saying? Anubis came. Here in New York City, they usually go over to that other military force called the police department, which they're going to start with. But they always call in the National Guard and the military when things really get out of control. It's only so much that the police force can do. It's only so much that they can really, you know what I'm saying? The police really cannot control an all-out riot. They're not designed for that. You know what I'm saying? The police are designed to control standard crimes. They're not really equipped to actually be able to handle. Well, at least they used to didn't. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at some of the shit they got now. So, let me hush my mouth. Shit, I take that back. You know what I'm saying? Because they got some shit that's just mind-blowing. You know what I'm saying? But, hey, there's still a lot of people. Like, for example, New York City. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people. And I don't think the New York police force will be able to really control all of New York City by themselves. You know what I'm saying? In Columbus, you know what I'm saying? I don't think Columbus Police Department can control Columbus, especially when you got large groups of people responding or as they call it, rioting, feeling the what's the term? The joy of the moment. Military sales police various kinds of devices to compensate for lack of personnel. That's right. All right. So I'm going to read this story again. So you ready? And now, in her wisdom, counsel the birds that when the acorn first began to sprout, to pull it all up out of the ground and not allow it to grow. She said acorns will produce mistletoe, from which an irremediable poison, the bird line, will be extracted, and by which they will be captured. The owl next advised them to pluck up the seed of the flax, which men had sown, as it was a plant which boded no good to them. And lastly, the owl, seeing an archer approach, predicted that this man, being on foot, would contrive darts armed with feathers, which would fly faster than the wings of the birds themselves. The birds gave no credence to these warning words, but considered the owl to be beside herself, and said that she was mad. But afterwards, finding her words were true, they wondered at her knowledge, and deemed her to be the wisest of birds. Hence it is that when she appears, they look to her as knowing all things, while she no longer gives them advice, but in solitude laments their past folly. All right, so that's the story for the night. Y'all got it in advance. These articles aren't popping up, so we're not going to hold up. Maybe by the time we get done with the toast. But euphoria, that's the word I was looking for. Euphoria. Why are we feeling that euphoria? You know what I'm saying? Oh, believe me, they do not care about controlling anything. Most of those guys do not even live in any of our 5 boroughs, which is another issue as far as a group that we really, really need to get on as far as politically. Because you can write laws, you can enact laws, you can get your representatives to pass laws that police officers need to either come from the area that they police or live in the area that they police. Let me say that again. You can make that a law. You know what I'm saying? Because I want you to think about the damage that does, regardless of what city you in, because it's the same thing in Columbus. Columbus pays police officers that live out in suburbs, that live outside of Columbus, which means that our tax money, that every time I go to the gas pump, every time I buy something, you know what I'm saying? Ohio gets its tax. The federales get their tax, right? The county get their tax, right? Every time they get their tax, I pay salaries. Those salaries, those individuals will get up and live outside the city and pay taxes for another area and pay taxes for another police force. When in fact, all of my resources, so not only in my neighborhood, is people coming in with stores and draining my neighborhood, right? No borders, like I said before. We got outside, in a sense, outside military, outside mercenaries being brought in to patrol our neighborhoods, and the money to pay them is extracted from us, which means that that money is also bleeding outside of our community. They don't even have to shop within the city of Columbus or the boroughs of New York. They take their money elsewhere. And anybody that is a public employee should have to live in the city in which they serve. I'm just saying that. You know what I'm saying? That's like running for mayor of Columbus and living in Dayton. Now that shit probably not happen. But I mean, I need y'all to see how the reality is being warped around us. And once we really start understanding the power of kujichagulia, we know that defining ourselves for ourselves not only means just us being able to say feel good words to each other, but being able to have individuals respect the definitions that we apply to ourselves. That's not a human right. Nobody has to respect you. Nobody has to do that. You know what I'm saying? That's not a human right. That is something that you must demand, and something that you must and you must not back down from. That is something that you have to go in and enforce. You know what I'm saying? This is why Europeans all over the world get recognized, because they enforce the fact of who they are. Black folks, when are we going to start enforcing who we are? When are we going to start enforcing the definition that we have for ourselves? See, That's the only, because like I said, like I tell my kids all the time, nobody will respect your stuff more than you, nor should they. We can't expect people to respect what's ours more than us. So nobody's going to respect my self-definition more than me and ours. Now, I posted up Dr. Sizemore on, because I got to go to another point now, since my this bullshit is not working. Hootsuite, man. I'm sitting up here. I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? I pay my bill. Right? You know what I'm saying? See, and just like they practice drills, sistering, this is why I keep on saying tribe up, because every tribe need to be practicing drills. We need to be practicing. You know what I'm saying? Just for emergency situations. I ain't saying preparing for Armageddon or preparing for the neighborhoods to be raided. But what if all the power shut down? What if something happened to the power grid? You know what I'm saying? What if something happened to the water supply? Do we have plans, or do we even have the resources to take care of our people? Because Amos Wilson, I'm going to go back to Dr. Sizemore in a second. Amos Wilson said that when it comes down to a choice between their children and your children, who you think they're going to feed first? That's Cleveland. That's Cleveland in the background. That's Cleveland in the background. Cleveland already know that when it comes between him and them, right? And I got to make a choice. Cleveland, no, he don't even have to get in line. Oh, sit down, relax. You about to eat. All the rest of these motherfuckers about to starve. You know what I'm saying? My kids at the school, my kids in my community, they come first. I need you to understand, this is the type of leadership we need. We have to understand that our children come first, just like every other group's children come first. So the question I ask is, if they are running drills, what drills are we running? What drills are we practicing? You understand what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I mean, and like I said, family, you don't even have to be a lot of us. You don't even have to be a lot of us. It could be 2 or 3 of us, 2 or 3 families saying, all right, boom, on Kuumba at 3 p.m., we will meet at our rendezvous destination in case of urban uprising. We will meet in our rendezvous location in case of a tornado. Sisterin says, yeah, they do practice drill. KRS One disaster kit breaks it down for survival during such a fallout. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's like, police should live in the area they police. Community policing. Outside policing equals genocide. They will never, hold on, believe me, they do not care about controlling, okay. Look back at the Egyptian revolution in 2011. They will never truly have a vested interest in the community, and they are more likely to shoot first. Exactly. Because they cannot be held responsible by that community, because they can run away and they can hide. It's a different thing when you have to spend some expenses to hide. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I mean, think about that. You know what I'm saying? You kill a young person that lives in the neighborhood that you live in. Unacceptable. That guy Michael Wood has a very good program. Man, family, why y'all let me run my mouth? Hold on. Oh my God. I just thought this stuff was important, family. Now, the one article that I wanted to cover was, and it didn't, it might be up now, but I ain't gonna read it now. But it's about the black identity extremists, right? Where they are going through and arresting us. See, once again, the narrative is being painted. The narrative is being laid out. You understand what I'm saying? The narrative is being painted, right? And they're using stuff like Alex Jones, shows like Alex Jones, to kind of help frame the picture, right? And then the last part, the first one I wanted to read was, there was an article in a Root called The Shame Is Not Yours, Black America, where they talk about, once again, and I always got to stress this, how how the war on drugs was a cover for the government to have an all-out war against us. The Root is doing articles, I think, every day of this month, discussing the issues between us and the government. How the government, how Richard Nixon's administration falsely created the drug problem so that they can break up the war protests and break up the black power movement, right? So we really need to understand this. I know a lot of people because I gotta get ready for the adventure too. So here we go, family. I'm sorry, running my mouth. So let's do it real quick. I know y'all already drinking. I can't drink and run my mouth at the same time. I'm trying to learn how to do that. Drink your water. Drink your water. Lift your glass and 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 drink your water. Drink, 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 drink. Drink, 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 drink. Now take your breath and drink your water. Take a breath and drink your water. Take your breath and drink your water. Take your breath and drink your water. Drink, 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 drink. Drink, 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 drink. Move your body, drink some water. Stay in shape, family. Move your body, drink some water. Move your body, drink some water. Come on, loosen up. Move your body, drink some water. Drink, 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 drink. Drink, 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 drink. Now here we go. We're going to lift those glasses, toast those ancestors. Lift your glass and toast your ancestors. Lift your glass and toast your ancestors. Lift your glass and toast your ancestors. Drink, 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 drink. Drink, 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 drink. Lift your glass and drink your water. Take your breath and drink your water. Move your body, drink some water. Lift your ass and trust your ancestors. Drink, live, move, live. I'm gonna get it, hold on. Drink, breathe, move, live. I got it. Alright, enough of that, family. Let's get these ancestors in here. Let's get this toast off. As y'all see, I got some of that new ambrosia. I got those gallons. So I got that Kwame ready. All right, here we go. That guy, Michael Woods, has a very good program for civilian leading policing. Civilian-led policing. Paint and live our own narrative. We got to. You know what I'm saying? But now this is the issue. I don't want us to be illusionary like some of these other groups out here. You know what I'm saying? I don't want us to be illusionary. I want us to, if we paint the reality, we got to be able to enforce that reality. You understand what I'm saying? Power is the ability to define reality and have others respect that reality. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not real if it's just within your group. Other people got to respect your reality. China has a different reality than America, and America respects that reality. Although America try to undermine that shit and China try to undermine America's reality, they respect each other's reality enough to, hey, They do shit. They do their thing, right? And we got to be able to have people that had a force to say, you don't respect my reality. There's going to be some consequences because my reality is going to bust you upside your head. You understand what I'm saying? My reality is going, you see, and oftentimes what we got to understand, they try to disarm us. Because the brother that they got in jail right now for the black identity extremists was a member or was the person that started a black gun club. They always try to disarm us, family. They always want us to, you know what I'm saying? They want us to stay in the what they believe is the MLK weakness. But we got to understand, when you really look at Martin Luther King and the movement and the training that those individuals went through, you understand that was warrior training. See, because if I could get you to control your instincts, because I want you to think about this, true leadership. If I could get you, if you believe in what we're doing so much that you will shut down your natural reactions, people would just take hits. Some of them wouldn't even raise their hand. They would just take the hit and keep on moving. Let dogs lunge at them and shit and not run in fear. You understand what I'm saying? Just keep marching. Because I want you to understand the power of this, and I want y'all to really think about this. If you can get people to believe in something that strong, how hard would it be to flip on the switch? I want you to think about that shit. How hard would it be to switch on the slope? All of a sudden, you just be like, that's enough. Boom. Power up. You know what I'm saying? Go Super Saiyan. You know what I'm saying? Whoop some ass. Make that dog sit. See, because I want y'all to understand, man, that when you really look at Martin Luther King and the training and the control that he instilled in people, that's, outside of the economic talk, that's what really scared them, family. Because I want y'all to think, you got to really think about that. And get outside the nigga that really don't know. The nigga that think that Martin Luther King was about being scared. I want y'all to get outside that mind state. I want y'all to really look at not only what Martin Luther King did, but look at the people that followed him, and look at what type of the soldiers that controlled their reaction. Oh my God. And maybe some of y'all can't feel me. But if I need to go to a battle on the battlefield, I want somebody like that. Oh my God. I don't want the motherfucker that's going to be talking when I be like, shh. I want the motherfucker that even under fire, right? If I'm in command, even under fire, they follow the order. That's what win battles, family. See, that's where we go wrong, because we have lost the order, because we don't respect our own reality enough to even trust the order. The order of the family is falling apart. Why? Because nobody believes in it no more. The order of our schools is falling apart. The order of the education is falling apart. Dr. Sizemore, I said I was going to go back to her family. Dr. Sizemore, I posted up a video of her. She stated that the second most powerful thing in the universe, next to God, is the power of nationalism. I said, God damn. Did y'all hear me? Did y'all hear what we talking about? This was a speech probably back in the 80s. The way it looked. She said the next most powerful thing to God is the power of nationalism. Brother Nuba said Alex Jones is nothing more than a CIA Planet actor. Both he and lawyer pretty much said so during his custody hearing, and he always has some new super male vitality pill that he is selling. Right? Think about that. And I'm willing to look at it another way. See, because I have a different view of agents, right? You have those trained agents, but then you also have people out in the field that just do what they do. You got some motherfuckers just snitches. You got some motherfuckers that just don't like you, and they will gladly give up information. And family, we need to start sharing those people. Brother Kwame said, attempt to undermine implies respect for the reality. Well, right. Exactly. Attempting to undermine. Now, attempting. Now, that's the key word, attempting. Because they can't undermine it. Because if they directly undermine, if they directly attack that reality, they understand that there will be retaliation. Right? But with us, there's no attempt. It's just undermine. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, I was reading an article about Boyce Watkins yesterday. You know, because him and Yvette Cornell got a beef going on. And what magazine was that? It wasn't a Root. It's another magazine. But these motherfuckers are so disrespectful towards the black conscious community. I mean, just so disrespectful. Right? This is the second time I done picked up an article by them. And anytime they hear something coming from the conscious community, these motherfuckers use terms like hotepery and they use kintekology and shit like this. And it's like, it's so disrespectful, and you have to wonder who's writing this shit and why are they allowed to even infringe on that reality like that. You know what I'm saying? You don't see these motherfuckers. They don't even disrespect white supremacist shit like that. But when it comes to our shit, you understand what I'm saying? When it comes to us, these motherfuckers go in. It's the one that's owned by it's not the Root. The Root is, maybe it is the Root. Yeah, fucking disrespectful. Thanks for sharing that POV about you know what I'm saying? Because I'm just telling y'all, family. But hold on. Sometimes I ramble. All the time I ramble. I ain't even gonna fuck around. That's what I do. But I'm able to be a little bit late today. You know why? Because over the weekend I sat down, I ironed all my clothes, I ironed all my clothes, so I'm free to do my thing. But that those articles and those videos that I'm talking about are posted up on Gye-Nyame Journey. I'm gonna find the one about Boyce Watkins, and I'm gonna post that up. In the discussion group, we got the one about the FBI tracks and arrests black identity extremists. I wonder if I fit into that. Do I? I don't know. No, I guess if I speak to y'all tomorrow, y'all know. You know what I'm saying? If I just disappear, right? You know. But I guess, you know, drinking water in the morning ain't that dangerous, right? Toasting the ancestors in the morning ain't that dangerous, right? We'll see. What is or where do I find Gye-Nyame Journey? You spelled it right. Put at Gye-Nyame Journey and go, and you can find the Facebook page at Gye-Nyame Journey. Just, it's all one word. Or you go to GyeNyameJourney.com and it has a link to all the pages, all the books, all the stuff. On Facebook, or you go GyeNyameJourney.com, take you straight to the blog. Anubis says, Boyce is not even a hotep as far as I know, but I am a little concerned about some of the things that he has said about his early life, especially concerning his grandmother. It sounds like the David Batch story. I'm not sure whose version came out first. So you thinking that it might be a false story? Alright, but hold on, family. Let's do this toast real quick. Because, you know, like I said, some of y'all, we got adventures. I ain't fill a glass up. By the way, Kwame, I put a batch together for you, but I can't let it sit too long. I'm gonna have to start sipping on it if you don't speak up soon. All right. So Call on the creator by whatever name you call that creator. We call that great force, that great power. We call it. And we recognize it. We see it all around us. And also, Brother Shaka say, subscribe to the Mind of Shaka. Take a look at the Nation Builder Talk. Me and him had a conversation, and he probably interviewing other nation builders. And also, anybody in our network, anybody in our circle, if you have something you need to advertise, like right now, we got the Malcolm X celebration coming up in May 19th. We need vendors for that, but one of the first fundraisers in the Kwanzaa season because, your ambrosia, your ambrosia is sitting down, soaking up the lemon lime right now, stuff now. Not necessarily a false story, more like one of them stole it from the other. So May 19th, we will be having the Malcolm X Festival at the Millennium Community School. But we having our first fundraiser. And the thing I need you to understand, this is part of Kwanzaa 365, right? So all of our celebrations is leading up to the big celebration of Kwanzaa. So the first one we got coming up is Malcolm X Festival. Now, this Kuumba, this weekend, right? This Kuumba at 3 p.m., we will be showing the movie and having a discussion about the movie called The Spook Who Sat by the Door. We will actually film it and show it because, I never really got to see this movie with a crowd of over 5. Well, I did maybe about 10 people once. I would love to see this movie with about 30 people and generate a conversation around this word. Not necessarily, Brother Kwame say, N-word, give me my stuff. When can I get it? And how can I get slow down? Kwame, announcement. Brother Shaka says that he is performing at the Malcolm X Festival. Right? You ain't supposed to, Shaka, you said that wrong. You put a question mark at the end of that. I'm performing at the Malcolm X Festival, right? You said it like this. I'm performing at the Malcolm X Festival, right? No, family. I'm performing at the Malcolm X Festival, right? That's what he said, Kwame. He said it like that way right there. So we call that creator, we call that great source, we call that great power into our lives to surround us and to protect us and to surround all those in our families and in our tribe. You know what I'm saying? We lift up our glass, we say Ashe. We call on our personal ancestor without any further ado. So I don't want to hold y'all prisoner because we got to get up out of here. Miles Brown, Miss Ann, Robert, the Texan, Davis, Herman Brown, Steve, Rosalie, Tilly, George, and William Walton, Chris and Fanny Gasson, Aunt Lena, Uncle Chris, Aunt Fiend, Cleveland, Geneva Brown, Margaret Ellis, Wash Ellis, Cecil Ellis, Alvaro Brown, Gina Gaines, Herman Brown II, Barbara Twiggs, Wash Ellis Jr., Katie Ellis, Nikki Ellis, Jamon Jones, Jeremiah Tappan, John Fallar, Montague Pittman L, Noma X, Pat Meyer, Rob, Malika Fakur, Dr. Marianne Williams, Kojo Kamal, Elder Farmer, Elder Millie Dixon, Tony Clark, Pastor Yusuf Weston, Elder Ajani, Elder Ron Coleman, Elder Robert Donaldson, Alfred Brofro, actor Jay Edwards, Carlisle Harris, Grace Lundy, Inez Harris, William Bill Moss, Phyllis Rose, Sterling and Lucy Wright, Derek L. Pulliam, the Luster brother, Miss Eda Brooks Crawley, Miss Marie Nelson, Mr. Frederick Crawley Sr., Miss Jerry Brunson, Mr. Alonzo Johnson, Miss Marie McDowell, Janice Foster, Charles Jordan, Carol Smith, Walter Smith, Richard Triggs, Francis Johnson, Mary Franklin, Jimmy Williams, Daniel Ford, George Gibson, Nana Loretta Clark, Inez McCrae, Fritz Clark, Frankie Justice, Katie Justice, Derek Randleman, Virginia Rogers, Reverend James Smith, Lois Henderson, Calvin Spratling, Mary Elizabeth Walker, Raymond Walker Sr., Sarah Jane Carter, Michael Ford Jr., Kellen D. Russell, Susan B. Smith, Teresa Clay, Melvin Dale Hodge, Jr., Herman Copeland, Mildred Copeland, Jenny Clay, Bird Beatty, Sarah Ware, Levita Farmer, Augusta Sue, Cheryl Harvey, Aunt Charmaine, Aunt Evelyn, Theolis Hasbury, Harvey Hasbury Sr., Leonard Dickinson, T.C. Islam, Terrell Dunbar, Will Thomas, Sarah Berry, Mark Walsh, Merle B. Thornton, Pearl G. Thornton, Ida Johnson, Florence M. Carter, Joanne Thornton, Erica Tricia Lewis, Juanita Wright, Robert Wright, George Wright, Mary Eliza Frederick Davis, Mary Elizabeth Rogers, Mary Esther Keechler Reese, Linda Watson Hammonds. Oh, by the way, Shaka, yeah, we can make that happen. And brother Kwame already answered, so I see that. All right. Jarrell Giles, Jarrell Giles Watson, Sparrow, Slimmy, Selvin Lewis, Andrew Holmes, Pearl Moore, Percy Moore Jr., Mildred Owens, Booker T. Bowden, Charlie Hunt, Sammy Stover, Hilda Pearson, Sturgeon Thornton, Richard Thornton, Lavinia Hall, Freeman Bankston, Mary Moss, Sophia Peacock, Willie Thornton, Napoleon Kennedy, Mark Ramsey, Paul Ramsey, Matt Ramsey, David Ramsey, Charles E. Thornton, Frankie Quells, Urania Thornton, Bernice Quells, Ernestine Jackson, Frankie Johnson, Teresa Mormon, Leon Johnson, James W. West Sr., James Parham, Dana Jones, Henry Worlds, James Farmer, Marie Chavez, Leon Grace, Bessie Johnson, Hattie Levester, Mary Moreland, Paul Moreland, Elder Caleb, Rosemary Martineer, Elder Amatep Wellman, Fred Douglas Triggs Sr., Delma Triggs, Thomas and Lula Berry, Lacey and Eleanor Howe, Franklin Rustin Davis, Fred Douglas Triggs II, Vena Triggs, Reverend Eddie Moore, Helen Fuller, Eugene Jackson Sr., Richard Ellis, Saulus Alexander, Charles Maxwell, Percy May Alexander, Arthur Reynolds, Stanley Lockhart, Ricky Lockhart, William Lockhart, Woodrow Lockhart, Brenda Porter, Deacon Hargrove, Carlos Sawyer, Andrew Parker, Doris Donald, Ellis Murphy. Let me start from the back of the list because Instagram will be going down soon. So I want to make sure I get Sister Cynthia's people: Lee Irby, Tommy Irby, Void Irby, Jim Gaucher, George and Haley Johnson, Archie and Margaret Armstead. Anubis, Brother Anubis, extended list: Gene Holmes, Dana Jones, Peter Charles, Christy Nichols, Cardinal Robinson, Rosemary Charles, Sister Tiandra, Ada Pearl, Bob Ingalls, Jack Wallace, Warren P. Finch, Tim Ingalls, Audrey Finch, William Billingsley Jr. Miss Navita, do I have any of your ancestors on this list? Brother Deshaun Sensabaugh, salutes his mother, Jennifer Sensabaugh. I added to my list Hazel Gatson, Jerry Brantley, Brian Watson Jr., Kaniko Parsons. Sister Aisha says Stacy Trice, Frank Smith, Mother Bertha, Michael Leonard, David Brown, Miss Ford. She put Ruth Carter, June Cox, Ruth and Paul Cox, Ronald Urban, Judy Hubbard, Irene Johnson, Francis Booth Jefferson. Dr. D puts Dan Wilkinson Sr., Sister Jackie, Emma McClendon, Brother Kwame added to the community list, Jerry Doyle and Amina Robinson, and Sister Madonna calls on her mother and father, Donna Hill and Richard Levis. Okay, cool. I want to make sure I got all my people on here. Did you double dip? I heard some duplicates. Probably sometime, the lines are small. My eyes is I'm old, so I read some lines twice. And if we double dip, you know what I'm saying? There's a reason for that, right? So, and also when we have a new ancestor that passed, which we don't have on the list as of yet, we repeat the name 3 times for at least a week. All right, 3 times in a row. All right, so, and then we had that guy Charles Wu saying something to the effect, if I remember correctly, that voice is like his mouthpiece or picture. Yeah, I heard that too. You know what I'm saying? And describing our community. See, because I want y'all to understand how they look at us. We're a niche. You're not a people. You're a niche. That African-American niche. You know what I'm saying? Because we all the same. Please, and add Brother Shabaka Teray. Oh, my God. Oh. You hear that, Kwame? Navita? All this time I haven't had Shabaka on here. Oh my God. Oh, Sister Cynthia, I feel bad. I'm going to add Brother Shabaka. I gotta find my pen. Oh. See, it's stuff like that, man. It's like, wow. So we salute those ancestors. And we shout out Brother Shabaka. Right? Man. Oh my God. So we lift up our glass and we say Ashe. Alright? I'm going to call Brother Shabaka 3 times. I heard that. See, sister, I want you to know she's on Instagram, so she don't see this. Because all of us know Brother Shabaka, and this whole time we've been doing this, you know what I'm saying? Nobody brought up his name. You know what I'm saying? And she put on here organize, organize, organize. Brother Shabaka Toure. Brother Shabaka Toure. Brother Shabaka Toure. We toast and we say Ashe. From there, family, you know what we do? We move to the present moment. See, that's how you know you gotta try, because we all feel the same way. I feel, you know what I'm saying? I feel bad about that. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, he wasn't even mentioned in the Kwanzaa book. You know what I'm saying? You know, but that's that. I take personal responsibility for that. You know what I'm saying? That's how we that's how I deal with that. So, Brother Shabaka, you know what I'm saying? We feel you, family. All right, so now we move on to the present moment. For those that don't know, today is kujichagulia. Hopefully, you know your principles, so you know what the day is. I won't run through all that. We toast the present moment. Family, activate those reticular formations. And right now, we're going to be searching and seeking out kujichagulia in our community. We're going to sniff it out. We're going to find it. We're going to locate it so that we could talk about it. Right? One of the posts I posted up was about the microbiome. Was my post about unity. Maybe we can learn something about unity by looking at the but the PC, as far as African people, there's a saying that says, "Hell for African is being forgotten." I know there's communities out there that didn't forget him and do salute him, but being, in a sense, a keeper of ancestors, of people that I know, I feel a sense of shame for those ancestors that have been especially active in our community, and I don't salute them. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, this ain't somebody who you just calling out that I never dealt with, I've danced to his music when he DJ'd. I've been to some of his events. He been to some of the stuff we was building. I still remember him walking around with that. I remember Shabaka before he got the locks. He used to come up to Ohio State when I was at Ohio State. Shabaka was my friend. And as an individual that take this seriously, because I understand that when I call my ancestors, they are here. I'm feeding my ancestors. And one of my brothers was not being fed. Why? Because of an oversight of my mind. He was in our heart, but it was oversight of my mind. I wasn't speaking his name. You know. But in some instances, whoever is on the Gye-Nyame piece, in some instances, we need to understand and feel shame. You understand what I'm saying? In some instances, we need to feel shame. You know what I'm saying? And when we're doing sacred things like this, and I miss something like that, you know what I'm saying? I feel shame. You understand what I'm saying? I feel it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to make corrections about that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because the one thing about shame is shame forces you, if you really are sincere about it, it forces you to have to make change. We last mentioned him during the Honorable Mosiah Garvey celebration, but that has been some time ago. And he was one of the people, if he didn't, wasn't he the person that put that together? Remember that time and space doesn't exist in the spirit. Better later than never. Better late than never, right? But time and space exists right here. Right? So, I'm just saying, stop trying to talk me out of it, brother. Let me have my shame. All right? Because I'm going to make corrections. Shame makes you correct your course. So we lift our glass to the future generations. Peace out, Sister Cynthia. All right? Because they're about to cut you off. All right? We lift our glass. We toast our children's children on to infinity. You understand what I'm saying? So we lift up our glass and we say, Ashe. From there, we move to all of our relations. And from there, I toast you. Have a great and powerful and magnificent day while I sip on this young and fresh ambrosia. Brother Kwame, your ambrosia will be ready. Actually, since you know how to handle it, I will have yours ready by tomorrow. Shaka, yours will be ready By the time you hit town, Brother Rafe, if you catching this later, your bottles will be ready. I'm going to give it till Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? Be yourself in the corner. Go ahead then. I hope you cry there. Yeah, I was about to actually. Because I was actually, man, I was actually touched when she said that name. And I'm sitting like, damn, I know this dude. You said you hope I cry in the corner? Well, I might do the shower floor thing. Hot damn. Summer in the city. Ambrosia good and the girls looking pretty. Man, Sister Jill is not Sister Jill Jackson, but Sister Jill in California. She doing a lot of dance videos talking about she dancing for the Black Panther premiere. You know what I'm saying? All right, family. This is Brother Hatim, and I am out. Y'all have a great day. Activate your reticular formations. Find kujichagulia out there because it's out there, family. And also, be aware. You know what I'm saying? Be aware because the whole piece is, people say, oh, they restarting the COINTELPRO. Family, those of us that's in the struggle, we knew that they never shut the shit down. Come on now. And the brother's name that they have, that they hold right now, his name, his African name is Rakim Caffrey. Or is that the author? Let's see. So we can, because this brother, they just snatched him up. 6 months after they report inventing from a whole cloth to turn black identity extremists, claiming this group possesses a terrorist threat to police. The first appearance case of prosecution of a BII has emerged. The BII designation has created concerns in the black community that the FBI is launching a new COINTELPRO program targeting black activists who have committed no crimes, with more arrests and prosecution of those involved in racial justice movements to follow. So, let me see what the brother's name is. You know, and for those of us that never trusted the FBI, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you know, we know what it is. We know what it is. The scientists are currently working on contact lenses that will improve your eyesight up to 3 miles. I don't know, not Nipsey Russell tears. You talking about off of the Wiz? I don't know if I want to see 3 miles away. I'm just saying, you know, some shit I just don't want to see. I mean, that's a lot of space to cover. That's a lot of data to take in. You know, some shit need to be down there. You know, I mean, you understand? You live in New York, Anubis. You know, some shit should just be down the block. It's just, I don't want to see it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And you know, and then you know, what about when you dodge at somebody? They be like, I know you got them contact lenses. I know you see me when you was driving. I didn't see you. I was looking down the road 3 miles. All right, family. Oh, hold on, family. My nephew is here. I'm about to get up. Come on in, boy. All right. Well, we out. Peace. When the winter came. Are you still on? All right, we still on. All right. See you later, my friends at Spreaker. Peace.